afternoon and a good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope you're all taking everything grand and all's well in your world. Joe's behind the camera again.
Hello!
Today, everybody, we are going to visit my good friend Malcolm. Malcolm is the original owner of the 62 Strat. So I've wanted to do this video for a long time, and today we are getting around to it. So it's a very, very, very special video, this one. So basically I'm going to ask him about, like, the history of the guitar, where he's been with it, where did he buy it, just some bits and pieces here. And I don't know if we'll get him to play it, but we can try. But if he doesn't, I don't want to force him to if he doesn't want to, but I'm going to see if we can get him to play something. But if he doesn't want to, that's fine as well. But so basically we're just going to go ask him a few questions about, like I say, about where he got it and whatnot. And yeah, it should be quite fun. I'm really looking forward to this one. So yes, see you in a minute. Well, it's a couple of seconds actually. Hello, this is Malcolm, everybody. This is Malcolm Drury, the original owner of the 62 Strat, which is there. So basically just going to ask a few questions and yeah, hope you enjoy this. So Malcolm, where did you get the guitar? How much was it? And
Right, I bought it in 1963, March 1963. I was in the Royal Navy at the time and I was at home on leave, but I hadn't got much time. And where I lived was a large department store. It wasn't a music shop.
yeah,
It was a department store with a music section, sold records mainly. And I saw this Fender Strat in there, Fiesta Red, and it was a case of either buy it or go without. I was really keen to have one, so I decided I wanted it. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford the asking price at the time, which was £175. I was earning £5 a week then. But I was also under the age of hire purchase agreement, which was 21 in those days, and I was 19.
yeah.
So my father signed for me and I bought it over 2 years hire purchase. So the total price was £212
That
over 2
interesting.
years. Yeah.
So how old were you at that time?
I was 19.
19.
Yeah.
So how old do you have to be for hire purchase back then?
In those days,
Yeah.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So I took it back on board ship, and it was quite difficult to play on board ship. I always managed to form a band on the different ships I was on. On the shore bases, it was easy because
Yeah.
you've got plenty of room, plenty of space. But on board ship, it was very cramped.
Mm.
There was only one compartment on the entire ship that had 240 volt AC. So it was the only place we could practice. And lugging the guitars up and down several decks on board it was a frigate, HMS Whitby it was called.
Yeah.
About 2,500 tons, about 200 crew.
Mm.
But lugging the amps and the guitar and the drum kits up and down through hatches,
Yeah.
up and down 3 decks each time, was quite
Not easy.
quite an effort.
Yeah.
But we managed it, and yeah, it was quite interesting. We used to play on board ship at night when we were at sea. They called them Sod's Opera, when everybody could get up and do their party piece. But yeah, we used to have some good fun, really good fun. And of course, travelling all over the world and playing in different countries, different places was interesting.
So where was the first place you and the 62 went after you got it?
Well, we left the UK to go out to the Far East on HMS Whitby. So we practiced while we were at sea in our spare time when we could. First place we stopped was Gibraltar, but then we stopped at Malta and Mombasa and then out to Singapore. So the first place I played really ashore in a shore establishment was in Singapore. We used to play in the bars in Singapore. Which was quite a long trek from the actual port where the ship docked, the harbour. It was about a half an hour's taxi ride. So we used to have to use 2 taxis to get all the gear in the taxi boot. And we got friendly with a particular bar owner in Singapore, and his son, who was about 18 at the time, was a student, little Malaysian guy. He played bass for us.
Oh, brilliant.
In the band.
Awesome.
And one night we came out of there and loaded all the stuff in the taxis, went on the half-an-hour ride back to the port where the ship was, and when I got back I discovered my guitar was missing. And I'd actually left it stood up outside outside of the bar in the street in Singapore.
That's like not the ultimate nightmare, isn't it? That? It's like
yeah.
My guitar.
But fortunately somebody saw it and they took it into the bar and left it, so I didn't lose it.
I wonder if I'd do that now. Just open it up. That's really cool though.
And then we played, we left Singapore, we went to Hong Kong and played in several places there. Various nightclubs, bars and places like that. And then from there we went down to Australia. We did a lot of playing in Australia, Sydney, in the various clubs, social clubs, places like that. Then we went to Tasmania, Hobart, where we played. We did a few private parties there as well. And then from Hobart we went across to Western Australia to a place called Bunbury, where we got in with the local radio DJs.
Right.
And so we managed to play on the radio in Bunbury. So that was nice over Christmas. So yeah, it's very, very interesting.
So geek question now. What kind of amp were you playing the 62 through at that time? What was it? What was the amp you had to carry around up through the port, through the hatches and up the vertical staircases?
Well, because of the limitations of the size of the hatches, which are about, I suppose, 4 foot square, something like that, and steep ladders, metal ladders going down.
Yeah.
We couldn't have large amplifiers, so we only had a couple of small ones. I think one was a Carlsberg.
All right.
I forget the name of the other one. It was probably an unknown make.
Just something, yeah.
But they were just small, like I suppose 30 watt.
Yeah. Nothing overly powerful. Yeah.
No. But in those days, you see, in the 60s, Britain, as you probably remember, was very, very well renowned for music, for bands, groups, solo artists, and because we were English or British, wherever we went abroad, people looked upon us as they're an English band, you know.
Yeah,
they must be part of the
scene.
The scene back in the UK. Plus the fact that we were sailors as well. I remember in Sydney they took us to the TV studios and we did a TV interview on ABC television.
Yeah.
Australian Broadcasting Commission.
That's really cool.
Because it was unique, the fact that we were sailors.
Yeah.
We were a band. We played mostly at the time Shadows stuff, Cliff and the Shadows. Although we did do most of the stuff that was in the hit parade at the time, but the fact there were so many British bands that were really gaining around the world, gaining popularity around the world. We were quite unique, really, in that respect. Even though we weren't professionals, we were just amateurs. But we did a few TV shows in Australia, in Sydney, radio programs. Things like that.
That's awesome.
We were treated very well by the local press, got involved. But in fact, on a previous ship down in South America, we played on the local TV stations in, I think it was either Buenos Aires or Rio, forget now, probably Rio. And one day this little chap came on board, a typical looking little guy with a Homburg hat and a big cigar, came on board the ship, asked to see the captain, he wanted to buy us. Wanted to buy us out of the Navy.
Well, it's kind of like do residency kind of things, and that was
said to the captain, "How much do you want for your boys?"
It doesn't work that way.
So
That's brilliant, that is.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out how much he was willing to offer?
No, I didn't.
I'd be curious to know that one.
Yeah.
It's like, I can offer you this much money for him. Fine.
But the skippers on the ships, the captains were very good. In fact, one captain even arranged for us when we came back from South America. He arranged for us to appear on television down in Portsmouth. And from that TV programme we got another programme down in Plymouth on another TV station. But unfortunately nothing ever became of it. We never became professionals or... I mean, once the Navy's got you, the Navy's got you.
Indeed, I suppose, yeah. So, I suppose it's quite a thing as well, having a Strat as well, because a lot of people back then had, the other cheapo guitars like Hofners and stuff like that, didn't they? And
yes.
Say to have actually a Fender as well, and considering, was it 63 when there was that embargo lifted, where you could get American guitars in England, because you weren't allowed them before that, were you? So,
no.
So I can imagine having a Strat was kind of a big thing.
Yes, it was. I don't know how I managed it, to be honest. When you think of the money, £175, and I was earning £5 a week.
Indeed, yeah.
But I was very proud of it. As I say, we based ourselves on the Shadows in those days. We used to play all the Shadows instrumentals, and that's why I was keen to have the Fender.
Yeah. It's kind of a need, isn't it, to get that Hank Marvin tone. It's the Strat, isn't it? It's no other guitar. Burns comes close, but it is the Stratocaster at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So after you were kind of like in the Navy, and after you finished the Navy, obviously the guitar went with you everywhere, kind of said the same.
Yeah, when I left the Navy, I lost all contact with my friends and colleagues and musician friends. So I came out of the Navy, I became a civilian again, and I put the guitar away. And I didn't use it for some considerable time, for about 8 or 9 years, maybe 10 years.
And it was still Fiesta Red at that point, wasn't
yes,
it? Yeah.
Yes, it was in its original condition. I was working then, about 10 years after I came out of the Navy. We're now in, about the late 70s. The firm I worked for, one of the chaps was in the band himself, and they were looking for a lead guitarist, so he asked me if I would be interested. Wasn't all keen at the time, due to other commitments.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got my guitar out the loft and dusted it off and took it to work with me one day, and I was a service engineer, so I took it into the workshop, and the lads were looking at it, and one of them said, "Do you want to sell it?" I said, "Well, I might do. Why?" He says, "I'll give you £100 for it." I was very tempted.
Yeah.
Because I was short of cash at the time, and I was very tempted to let him have it for £100. But another of the guys, the one that was in the band, turned to me and said, "Don't sell it, Malcolm." He said, "We want you to be our lead guitarist and join our band."
Yeah.
So that's what I actually did. I joined the band.
Yeah.
And he happened to be a professional paint sprayer. Was one of his jobs.
Yeah.
He was the drummer in the band. And I mentioned to him that I didn't like the colour of it, because by then it had gone pink.
Yeah.
From Fiesta Red it had gone to a sort of pink colour.
Yeah.
I said, I hate the colour of it. He said, "Well, I'll respray it for you if you like."
Yeah.
So I let him do it. He did it a very professional job on it. He stripped it right down. I think he took it back to bare wood. Gave it about 20 coats. And he made a very good job of it.
Indeed.
He's very particular in his work, and he made a good job of it.
Yeah.
Little did I know at the time
yeah, indeed.
what I was actually doing.
Yeah. Well, the thing was though, back then it's your guitar, isn't it? You don't think that, in 25, 30, 40 years it'll be worth this much money. It's like, it's your guitar.
I had no idea if it's worth then. But I was pleased with the result. And so I joined the band he was in, a Lincoln-based band, and we used to play in those days, and I'm talking about the late 70s, early 80s, all the miners' welfare clubs in the Midlands.
Yeah.
We didn't have a problem getting gigs. We had 2 or 3 every week. We used to do those usual 3 half-hour spots all over the Midlands and down the east coast of England, at the holiday camps, places like that. We had plenty of bookings. We had more than we could cope with, really, because sometimes doing 2 or maybe 3 bookings a week and having a full-time job as well was quite difficult.
Indeed, I can imagine.
I mean, the money was pretty poor, but I enjoyed playing.
Indeed, yeah.
And then after, over time, I was with that band for about 14 years, actually. And during that time, the miners' welfare clubs all began to close down as the mines closed.
Yeah.
So we went more for sort of dinner dances and that kind of stuff. You know, weddings and
Stuff like that. Yeah, a bit more kind of function kind of.
Still did the ordinary social clubs in the towns around Lincolnshire. And as I say, the holiday camps was during the summertime.
Yeah.
Very, very popular. So yes, I carried on with them until I finally finished playing altogether, which was I think sometime during the 90s, mid-90s.
It was just kind of one of those things. It just kind of came to a kind of natural kind of.
Yes.
I'm done with that kind of thing.
Yeah. But I still enjoyed playing. I still kept my equipment. I kept all the stuff, my amplifier and my guitar and everything, and I just played for my own enjoyment at home after that.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Until you came along.
Until I came along. Yeah.
Stole my guitar.
yeah. Sorry. Because around that time you were using AC30, Vox AC30.
Yes, I've still got that.
You've still got AC30,
Yeah.
And that was basically. Did you ever have any other guitars, or was it just the 62?
The one before this was a Burns Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Small body guitar.
Yeah.
In fact, we all 3 of us, the rhythm guitarist, the bass player, and myself, all had Burns guitars, all matching.
Yeah.
Quite nice, but I can't remember what happened to it actually.
Really?
I forget now whether I sold it or what. I don't know. But I still love the Fender. I wouldn't go change it for anything else.
No. And especially that one, because it's such a special guitar, and the fact that it's been with you for such a long period of time.
I had it for 57 years, 56 years, something like that.
I just love the fact that you've had it 57 years, and it went everywhere with you. Like from the moment you got it that day, it was on the ship with you. It went around the world, and I think that's absolutely brilliant. And I was saying in a video recently, I was like, that's what makes these guitars special. Because I've played tons of these old guitars that are like pristine, and they've just been like put in an attic or a glass case somewhere, and they just don't fit. They're not special. They're just another guitar. No. Whereas because that's been everywhere with you, and it's had a life, and you've played it and you've loved it, and it really speaks when you play the guitar. You can feel it and you can hear it in the guitar. It's just got so much vibe, and it is one of those things where when I take that to people to show people that and they open the case, people do kind of go, okay. It's like, do you want to play it? No, I don't want to touch it. No, I don't want to touch that. No, can't touch it. It's like, you'll love it. Trust me, you'll love it. It really does. It's because I didn't get the vintage guitar thing for a long time, and then I played a 64 Strat, and I was like, and then when I got to play that, when I borrowed that off you, and I took it home and plugged it in, I was like, this is even like the feeling is so strong, and I was like, this is insane. It's just such a different feeling to like just normal guitar. I don't want to say normal guitar, but there is something about it that's very, very, very special, and it's wicked. Yeah. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm just pleased that somebody like yourself has taken it on, because I wanted somebody to have it who was going to use it, who was going to play it. I didn't want to sell it to somebody who's going to stick it in a glass case, as you say. There's an investment. I wanted to see it played. And you being half my age, you'll probably play it for quite some considerable number of years.
Indeed, yeah.
Maybe pass it on to somebody else.
Indeed, I'd like to. I mean, it's not going to be one of those things that I'm ever going to get rid of. As long as I'm breathing, it will be with me. It will never leave me. It's just because 62 Strat to me it's my dream guitar, and the fact of like how you came along with it is so bizarre. It's like, you asked my uncle. By the way, my uncle lives just around the corner from where we are now. Just so you don't get confused. But like, you asked my uncle, like, anybody who can value it or anything like that, and then you brought it round and asked to borrow it, and I was just like, I might need this.
I wanted an independent valuation, you see. I decided that the time had come to pass it on to somebody who's going to get as much enjoyment out of it as I'd had. I was aware by then that the guitar was worth quite some money. I'd had a look on eBay and places like that, and I'd seen guitars of that vintage which hadn't been refinished, going for 25, 30 and even more £1,000. There were even some on there for 60, 70,000. And although I didn't think it was worth anything like that, I thought it might be worth something 20 plus. But I didn't know how to sell it on. I thought if I take it to a dealer, they're obviously going to want to make a profit, obviously. So I didn't know how to get an independent valuation. And I was talking in our local club to your uncle. About it, and he said, send me some details. Send me an email with some pictures and some details of it, and I'll see what Dave says about it. and that's how it started. And I knew, bringing it to you, you'd give me your unbiased opinion of what it was worth, and that's what you did. And it just turned out just nice, because you were the ideal person to have it.
Indeed. I mean, it was just so strange how things work out, weirdly, because I've always been like, my dream guitar is a 62 Strat. Like, I don't care if it's been refinished, I don't care if it's been tinkered with, I just want that feel, and I want a 62 Strat. I want a 62 Strat with a story. I don't want this, this one has been hacked to pieces and that and the other. It's been abused. It had to be the right one. And when that came along, it was just like, that's it. That's got to be the one. If not for any others, because there isn't any others, And funny enough, I literally thought when I left Old Hat, I was like, that's the end of my vintage guitar thing. I'm never going to see any vintage guitars again. And I say, when you bought that round and I opened the case, I had the same reaction to it that people do now when you open the case. So you're just like, whoa, that's real. That's an old one, because Old Hat made me kind of wary, because there's so many people who are bringing guitars going, oh, this guitar is from this year or this amp's from this year, and you do a bit of research and find out that was not true at all. But as soon as I laid eyes on that, I was like, no, there's no doubt in my mind of what that is, how much it's worth, that it's been played, it's been loved. You just know. There's this weird feel. I say going back to that feeling again, but that guitar has got a feeling where you just know it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a proper. I can't think of the words. I'm not very good with that kind of thing, but it's it's an extremely special guitar, and it's really, really cool. And I say, I'm just very honoured and feel very privileged to actually own it and to be able to play it and to have it there. And I do catch myself just staring at it. I will literally just have it on a guitar stand or somewhere I'll be playing it, and I will just stare at it and just think, like, what is that? It still doesn't feel real. It's like, is that actually here, or am I just going to wake up in a minute and go, it's a dream? It is one of those things.
But I like the fact that if I'd sold it to somebody, an unknown person who lives somewhere else in the country, it had been gone and that had been it. I'd never see it again. But having sold it to you, I still feel that it's there.
Indeed, I know what you mean.
It doesn't belong to me, but it's still there, and I can still see it, and I can watch you play it, and that's very, very satisfying to me.
Yeah, I like that fact. I do love the fact of, like, because it's here now. It's not. I haven't had to, you had to go a million miles to get it back here or anything like that. I always love that idea. Yeah, it's nice. Makes me feel happy about it as well.
Yeah.
So I don't, because the odds on it being sold to a collector would have been very great because it's a 62. 62s aren't particularly plentiful. 63s, 61s, 59s. You can get them quite a lot. 62s seems to be a bit on the rarest. No, from what my research has led me to see, is like 62 seems to be kind of quite rare, especially kind of like one owner 62s like that. You normally find 62s that have had like multiple owners throughout the years.
Yeah.
And they've had different pickups. They've had people chiseling them out for different pickups and humbuckers and routing things in them and stuff. But to say like that guitar was with you for 57 years is wicked. It's
and all those years, it never went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not a testament to Fenders,
apart from
guitar.
the odd broken string.
Yeah,
Never had to do any work on it whatsoever.
Yeah, and it still lives and breathes now. Incredible. It really is incredible. You had it refretted once, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that was in the mid-80s. I had it refretted locally by a professional music builder.
Who, oddly enough, is the same guy who refretted it the second time. So it's only been refretted twice, and he was like, "Oh, do you want me to do anything about the fingerwear?" I was like, "No, don't touch it. Leave it alone." Because he was the guy who also replaced the original tremolo, wasn't he, when that wore out?
Yes, he did, and I think it was 1983 when he refretted it, and the tremolo was very worn and very loose. And he said he could replace it, which he did. And I felt fine at the time. When I got the guitar back, it was better, much better. Never thought more about it. But when I took it to you and you examined it and you said, that's not the original tremolo. That's been replaced. And I thought, I wonder if he's still got my old one. Yeah.
Like
30 years later.
Indeed, yeah. I asked him about that. When I took that guitar to him, he goes, oddly enough, he always looking at the guitar. Did he say something along the lines of like, "Oh, it was a good fret job"? He said like, it was a good fret job. The person did. I said, "Yeah, it was you." He was like, "What?" He'd forgot because obviously it was such a long period of time. How many guitars he refrets in a year, I don't know. But and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you did it." And he was like, "Oh." He goes, "Okay." And I just said to him, I said, "You replaced the tremolo on this in the late 70s. Do you remember? Would you still have any of that bow?" And he goes, "No." I said, "He used to bin them." He said he just used to bin them. He used to just take them off the guitar if they were knackered, or a bit rusty or whatever. They'd just go in the bin and that'd be gone. So that's what happened. And I was like,
shame.
Yeah. I was looking on eBay the other day at them, and I was like, original Strat tremolos are like $2,000, and I was like, that burns a hole in your pocket. Yeah, for technically what is basically just a piece of steel, it's quite incredible. But the main chunk of the guitars there, the feels there, you can replace things, not what's worn out on that frets. Nothing else is worn out. The original machine heads still work. It never goes out of tune. It just does not go out of tune. It's absolutely insane. It really, it's so stable. It's incredible. It really is. Yeah.
So when I had it, I just thought that was normal. You see. I didn't realise there was anything special about it.
Yeah.
The fact that it stayed in tune.
Yeah, so there's guitars, these modern guitars these days that struggle to stay in tune as well as that does. I mean, I did an intro jam with that earlier on for the video, and I checked its tuning just before I did it, and it was perfect across the board. And I did the intro jam, and I don't come to think of it, I don't remember the last time I actually, other than fine tuning it, had to drastically retune it. It's just like, it's always kind of like, like you have to turn the tuner like not even like 5% of the turn, and it's like, oh, I'm back. It's just incredible. It really is. It's so stable. It's just incredible. It really is. Yeah, awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. Right, I was going to ask, I don't know if it's possible, but I was going to ask, would you be able to play anything on it for us? Would you play through the AC30 with it?
I can do, yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, because I know people would ask, and I want to see it as well. So
I can't play like you though.
No, it doesn't matter about that. It doesn't matter about that. I just want to. I'd love to hear it. Absolutely love to hear it. So yeah. Let's do that.
carting it up and down in a warship. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not built for carrying guitars.
Exactly, yeah, carried it up the stairs, upstairs like through tiny hatches in a case.
In and out of taxi boots and
Yeah. Like when you were travelling with the band, what did you put? Because obviously it was just in that case. Was it like in a just a trailer, or is it in a car when you used to go on gigging with the band around the UK and stuff?
After I came out of the Navy.
Yeah, after you came out, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the drummer, as I said, the guy who resprayed it, he had a big trailer.
Mm.
We used to tow behind his car, and then he got a van because he was a builder as well. So he got a transit van, and we used to carry it and carry stuff about in that.
Mm.
But the trailer was all made in such a way that everything fitted. It was purposely built.
Ah, okay, yeah.
The drums, the amplifiers, the guitars.
Yeah, so nothing could roll around the place.
No, it was all fitted in.
Yeah.
Just spot on. So it was all nothing not damaged.
Yeah, that's cool. It's always good to do. I always try when I'm loading. I hate things that are just kind of like everywhere. It's like you think it has to go in a certain way so it all fits and nothing rattles around. Because I'm always terrified that you're gonna go around a corner too fast or something, and something's gonna fly and smash into the wall, and you get to a gig. It's like, oh, it's in pieces. Yeah, that's awesome.
But this drummer I talked about, the one who refinished it, he was absolutely mad on Fender guitars.
Yeah, loved them.
He's a bit like you. He's really into it. You know.
Yeah.
He loved it. I think he'd probably commit suicide if you found out that refinishing it cost me a fortune.
Yeah.
I've never told him.
No. I think it might be wise. Yeah. But again though, it's like the thing is back then it's like when your guitar, so many people said it who've got vintage old guitars. They always say when they say, "Oh, why did you get it refinished?" It's like, well, it's my guitar. I didn't like the look of it, so I changed it to something I liked. It's like I can totally understand that, but these days people are like, how dare you? It's like, well, yeah, it wasn't Fiesta Red at that point because the salmon pink colour is not attractive colour at all. It's not nice colour.
Of course, I didn't realise at the time the value of the thing. I thought it was just a guitar. I'd had it in quite a number of years and just decided I wanted it a different colour. But that's what happened.
Yeah, and the amount of Strats you see though from the early '60s that have been refinished black is unreal. There's so many guitars that are refinished black because it was just it's just a nice stock colour to recolour it. Because I don't want a pink guitar. I don't want the salmon pink. It's like I don't want the sunburst, or I don't want whatever colours other colours they had. It was black was a nice colour. It would just cover no matter what was there. It would just cover it nicely. Yeah. But the job he did on that is absolute. There's no blemishes, no nothing. It's an absolutely perfect job. Absolutely perfect job on the finish of that. It's absolutely bob on, and it looks cool. It really does. Yeah. Ready? It's gone. Plug it. Oh, did you film that?
Yeah, I filmed
Oh right,
it, yeah.
I didn't even know you filmed that. Quickly, one other thing. When first got the 62, people were asking why has it got 3 tone pots, and you said, Malcolm, that it's always had 3 tone covers.
They are the original pots, the original covers, and I don't think I ever realised that. I thought it was a bit strange that the top one is a volume control, but it says tone on it.
Yeah.
But it never dawned on me that it was incorrect. Yeah, I think it must have been a Friday afternoon in the factory.
Yeah. So somebody was like putting things on. It's like you missed that. It's like there's like a box of volume ones and tone ones, and he was just going like that.
Yeah.
Talking I'm doing this tonight. Like totally oblivious.
Yeah.
Because people say, "Oh, come on, it must have been changed at some point." It's like, no, it wasn't. No. And I say, when you do see them, they are all the same. They've aged the same. There's no way that's something that's happened after that's come from a factory like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, apart from the strings, I never changed anything on it.
Yeah, there's no need
until it was refretted, and then the new tremolo arm fitted.
Yeah. Say if it works. Yeah. Awesome. Right, let's go and do some playing.
It's got chorus, digital delay, overdrive and compressor.
just that Strat through that AC30 is absolutely gorgeous. It sounds
again,
perfect.
It's copied from the Shadows, you see. Cause when they first started, they had when Hank Marvin got his Strat, and they all had box amps.
Indeed, yeah, they all had the AC30s, didn't they?
That's why I like the sound.
Did you have a delay back in the day? Was it?
I had a Watkins.
You had a Watkins.
The original Watkins copycat.
Amazing.
With the two halves of the lid was split in two.
Yeah.
It cost me £30, brand new.
That's a fair bit of money there back then, wasn't it? That was, yeah.
I had a tape going round.
Yeah. They're brilliant.
I used to make my own tapes up because they
really?
were forever snapping. Yeah.
Amazing.
That was a. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but all it had was a record head and then 3 playback heads.
Yeah.
And push buttons underneath, so you could select each playback. So you get 1 echo, 2 echoes, or 3 echoes.
Yeah.
And then you could turn one of these pots up to sustain it.
Yeah,
it's quite a good echo, actually.
Yeah. I remember old Hat. He had a fair few of them. There was only one that worked. I think he had like 6 of them, and only one that actually behaved. The rest was like. I don't remember. I don't know actually. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not 100% sure. But I remember they were forever. Even the one that we had, one that worked was forever. Like you say, breaking tape. It just constantly just snap, and you tape it together and then put it back on, and then it'd snap.
Unscrewed so many times. It got rusty with the salt air,
Oh, of course, yeah.
And the hole got elongated. Enlarged. And I couldn't stop it from flopping about.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked him to replace the tremolo unit. And I took it in for refretting.
Yeah. I suppose, I didn't think of like the salt air factor at all, but that's
strings used to go rusty in no time.
I bet, I can imagine. It's never occurred to me the fact that
big problem with strings it was.
Yeah. I suppose strings back then as well weren't amazing.
Plus the fact out in Singapore you're sweating.
Oh yeah,
sweating all the time. Your hands are sweating.
I can imagine like the humidity is quite punishing on a guitar.
Yeah.
It is amazing how, like you say, it is amazing it's survived for such a long period of time with like nothing done to it apart from just the general, refret. That's it. It's absolutely incredible. It is a real testament to these old guitars. Here we are 57 years later and it still works. And it still sounds like that. They sound like the right thing. There's just something about them is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Awesome stuff. That was brilliant though. Yeah, thanks so much for playing for us. I've been looking forward to it. I was like, I wonder if he'll play for it. I hope he will. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, well, I'm not like you. I've never have played guitar just on my own with just the guitar. Apart from when I've been practicing, learning chords and things like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked some kind of backing to play to, and playing with a band is obviously fine.
Yeah.
But when you're on your own, so I found these online some years ago.
Yeah.
And they're actually recorded in Australia at Hank Marvin's studios. He's got his own studios there.
Oh, right.
And he produced these backing tracks, and at the they were getting quite a bit like hen's teeth. They were a bit difficult to get hold of.
Yeah.
But I got 3 or 4 of them.
Oh,
and they've each got about 22 tracks on.
Huh.
Most of Willie Shadow's original ones from the 60s, but also a lot of like Nights in White Satin and things like that.
Right, yeah.
And so it's ideal because the full backing's there.
Yeah.
And it's nice to play along to.
Indeed, yeah. I've got to say I do enjoy playing along to back tracks, but just kind of not having that there.
Because I learned from records.
Yeah.
In the 60s, that's how I used to get Shadow's latest record, like Apache or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just play a few bits of it and figure out the notes and then a bit more and figure it
amazing.
Until I got the whole thing worked out.
Yeah, because I suppose
I can't read music.
No, exactly. Yeah, I was literally about to say that. It's like the whole theory thing. It wasn't you couldn't play with ear back then. Yeah. It wasn't a case of I'll go to this guitar shop and buy this tab book. It was like put the record on, figure it out. No, put it back. Figure it out. Put it back. Keep moving the needle backwards and forwards and really figuring it. Yeah.
I played a keyboard as well. I got Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
very
more
good.
keen on
That's cool.
it. I got from second-hand shop in Grimsby for 40 quid.
Oh, nice.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really is.
yeah.
I'm
Awesome.
really chuffed with it.
Yeah, brilliant. That was great. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Okay.